Do you need another key for your GMC Yukon? I'm going to show you the fastest, easiest way to make a spare key without leaving home. And you're going to save hundreds of dollars in the process. Now, this demonstration works on GMC Yukons from 2017 to 2020. We also have solutions for Yukons from 2001 all the way to 2020. And we're always working to add more vehicle coverage. Be sure you stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to show you our amazing key by photo key cutting technology. Before we begin, I'm going to start a phone call to the GMC dealership to find out how much they want to rip us off for to make a spare key when it's something you can do right at home. While I wait on hold with the dealership, watch how easy this is. I was helping my friends get a spare key made before they go on a summer boating trip. I thought it would be the normal, easy process. But just a heads up, today I ran into a few problems and I pushed it right to the wire before they needed to leave. In order to program our spare key, you must have one working key that starts the engine. If the buttons don't work, that's not a problem, just as long as the key fob will actually allow you to start the engine so you can drive the vehicle. Our original key here has the tile key finder. You can pick these up on our website. It pairs to your smartphone so you can find your keys. And this one with the blue tag is the one we're going to program. To get started, let's scan the QR code, get the app downloaded. Okay, we'll fire up the app and we're going to start key pairing. We got to scan the serial number here. There we go. And it's going to walk us through all the things we need to know. Important points, make sure you've got a solid Wi-Fi or cellular connection. Have all your keys that you're going to pair and your original keys. You'll need your programming tool, and just a warning that if you have aftermarket parts like an aftermarket alarm or aftermarket remote start, sometimes those can cause problems and you're proceeding at your own risk. But I decided to ignore this. This GMC Yukon has an aftermarket trailer brake control system. I decided to proceed with making the key anyway and successfully program the key. But the aftermarket equipment did cause some problems along the way. The key pairing failed a few times until I disconnected the aftermarket trailer brake system. Ultimately, I was able to solve the problem and get the key programmed, but I'm leaving it in to tell you how I solved the problem in case you run into similar issues. For everyone else, programming should work smoothly. Okay, here we go. We can try and scan the VIN, or we'll just enter. We have a GMC Yukon, and this is a 2017, so right there, 2017 to 2020, and we're going to be doing a smart key. Smart key means you've got a push button start ignition, not a turnkey ignition. Looks like we need a data pack. Here we go. Download that. All right. First, we got to plug in the programming tool. It's really easy to do. Come look down your gas and brake pedal, look around, and you'll be able to find it. I recommend grabbing this optional extension cable. Plug the programmer in. We get a green light. It means it's got power. We need to get our Bluetooth connection made. And here we go. We see that easy device with matching serial number. I'm going to allow the connection. There we go. Bluetooth connection is successful. You see the blue light, the green check mark. Communicating with the vehicle. Take the original key into the vehicle, start the engine. Okay, here we go. Gonna fire up the engine. Engine is running. Next, checking vehicle status. Okay, turn the ignition off. All right, engine is turned off. Turn the ignition on, but don't start the engine. Okay, we've done that. We need to program one key. Okay, let's go ahead and hit start. Communicating. Blue light's flashing. I'm getting some different lights on the dash going. Reading the pin. Different lights are flashing and turning on the dash. It's all normal. Still trying to read that pin. It seems like we've gotten stuck. See lots of lights flashing here though. Back to communicating. Switch the ignition off. Okay. 120 seconds. Notice that green light has turned green here. Let's go ahead and turn the ignition off. Configuring the system. This will take 12 minutes. Please wait. Okay. While we're in this wait period, notice there's the orange security light. That's a good sign. That's an indicator that vehicle security system is being communicated with. A couple of reminders while we wait. You don't want to drain your vehicle battery while you're going through this programming process. So make sure your headlights are turned off. Have the radio off. Don't turn on the heater or the air conditioning. Anything that uses the vehicle battery should not be running. And if you happen to have a weak vehicle battery, you really ought to put a trickle charger on it or get it replaced, because you might accidentally drain the vehicle battery and then need a jump start in order to get your car going again. If it's a hot day, roll down the windows. Don't go changing out of the app. You really don't want to disrupt anything during this programming process. So just sit patiently and wait a few minutes. Sometimes this will end a little faster than the 12 minutes it states. While we're waiting, let's check back on that dealership phone call. See how it's going. Yep, I'm still on hold. Let's jump back in the car, see how we're coming. There we go. Actually finished earlier than the 12 minutes. 5-second wait, configuring system, communicating, please wait. Still seeing a green light here. All right, just turned off. Now notice the signal on the dash. Ready for remote number 4. So that means there's been 3 remotes programmed before, and we only have 1 of them though. And it tells us to put the new key to be programmed in the center programming slot. So that's pretty easy to find. It varies by vehicle. On this Yukon is this little pocket right here. You might think that's for coins or business cards. It's actually got a sensor behind to sense a new key that's being programmed. Or if your key fob battery has died, you can actually put the key in here to be sensed, and it'll let the vehicle start. And we're going to put our key to be programmed right there in the programming slot. And then click OK. Configure the system. It takes 10 seconds. Please wait. So it's now reading that key in the programming slot. Okay, we received some notice up there. Lights flashing, says it's ready for remote 4. Another 10-second countdown. Add 120 seconds to do that. Turning the ignition off. There we go. Press start for 12 seconds. This is an important point. Here we go. 1, 2, 7, 8. Oh, it tells me to release the start-stop button. Okay. Press the start-stop button, turn the ignition on. If it fails to turn on, repeat. I'm also noticing it said it's ready for remote number 5. So that's a good sign. That means remote number 4 has been programmed. Okay, now you got to hold the start-stop button for about 12 to 15 seconds. Well, let's pull this key out of the programming slot. Okay, now we can check our keys. Let's check our old one. Okay, it still locks and locks. Let's check the new one. Look at that. It has been programmed successfully. Okay, we need to check that it starts the engine now too. Okay, I'm going to disconnect the programmer. We need to get all keys out of the vehicle so we can know which one's actually starting the engine. Okay, there's no keys in the vehicle. If I try to start the engine, nothing happens. I get a no remote detected warning. Okay, that means the vehicle can't sense the remotes outside. So let me bring them back in. I'll bring them in one at a time. So here's our original key. Only one in the vehicle. Should start the engine. Beautiful. Engine fires right up. Excellent. Let's turn it off. We'll get this one out of the vehicle. And now the only one in here is the new one that we've just programmed. Beautiful. Engine fired up. We are good to go. Sometimes things can go wrong. Let me show you troubleshooting for one problem that might occur and the easy solution. I'm looking for the ignition to illuminate. I'm getting this action required. Insert new remote, press start button. Okay, this does not want to exit programming mode. Now what's happening here is the vehicle is stuck in programming mode. It thinks it's trying to learn another new key, but it's already learned the one. All right, we'll see what happens because we're getting down to the end and nothing has happened. Communicating with the vehicle. All right, pairing failed. Power off the vehicle, then power the vehicle on. Okay, so it ran into a problem. The vehicle computer got stuck. I think it actually successfully programmed that new remote. It wouldn't let this push button communicate to end programming. We're gonna have to deal with this the manual way. That involves powering off the vehicle, which we can't do anything right now because the computer is locked. We need to go disconnect the vehicle battery and allow it to sit for a couple minutes. All right, the app tells me to disconnect the negative terminal. Very easy to do. Let's just get that loosened. There we go. Disconnect it. Let's Let's go see what our app says to do next. All right, I accidentally bumped the screen after disconnecting the vehicle battery. It just tells me pairing has failed. So that's frustrating. We're gonna give this just a couple minutes and then we'll reconnect it and see what happens. All right, it's been a few minutes. Let's get our battery reconnected here. All right, this is equivalent of pulling the plug out of a computer or something else just to restart it. Got that reconnected. Let's jump back in the vehicle. Okay, back in the vehicle. We've got power again. The app is still aired out. But remember, I think it actually successfully programmed the key. Here's what happened. The vehicle computer froze up during the programming process. We actually got one new key programmed and our original one still works. On GM vehicles, this happens sometimes. I don't know why, but it does. It's not a hard fix. You just have to disconnect the vehicle battery for a couple minutes, reconnect it. Because the app had successfully reached the point in the programming process where the new key got programmed, it works. The only thing that it failed on, the place it got stuck was at the end when I needed to hold the ignition button down, and that lets the vehicle computer know that we're all done programming spare keys. But for whatever reason, that signal would not be taken by the vehicle computer, so we had to reset it. Now, why do I think that happened? One, sometimes things like this just happen on GM vehicles. I don't know the reasons. However, I do have a second theory on this particular GMC Yukon. This 2017 GMC Yukon has this aftermarket towing device installed. This seems to have been causing problems when we first tried programming. I think the software for this was interfering in the vehicle computer. Remember, the app warns at the beginning that sometimes aftermarket components can cause problems in the programming process. So I disconnected it. That allowed us to successfully complete the program after a few tries. We're going to power this, get this guy plugged back in. There we go. And we see some lights on it. It's powered up. We'll have to make sure it gets tested and is properly braking the vehicle computer. So hopefully that helps someone else, knowing that this aftermarket trailer brake caused a problem and just needed to be disconnected so the new key could be programmed. Let's go back and check on that phone call to see what the dealership wanted to charge to make a spare key.
GMC, how may I direct your call?
I'm trying to find out how much it costs to get a spare key on a GMC Yukon.
Okay, let me get you over to parts for that. One second.
Parts department.
Yeah, hi. I'm trying to find out what it costs to make a spare key fob on a 2017 GMC Yukon.
Let me put you on hold so I can get with my service department real quick to see about how much that would run.
Okay. Back on hold again. We got better things to do than sit on hold all day. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever going to get a quote from the dealership. I'm getting a list of great hold music though. I think I've been on hold for about 5 minutes already. It takes longer just to get a quote from the dealership than it takes to program a spare key with the help of Tom's Key Company.
All right, are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so just the little fob itself, that will be without the key. The fob itself is $224.87. The key that would fit into that fob, you're looking at an additional $77.14. And to have the service department program the fob is $179.95. I'm looking at a pre-tax amount of $481.96. If we do sales tax on top of that, times $508.47. What? I'm coming up with.
Okay. All right. Let me figure out what we're going to do. Obviously, a good chunk of change there. And
oh, yeah.
We'll go figure out how much we need our second key. Can you believe that? It was about $500 to get the spare key fob made at a GMC dealership. That's absolutely crazy. Nobody should be paying those kind of prices. Come to Tom's Key Company. You'll save hundreds of dollars and hours of time by skipping the car dealership. Come to tomskey.com and place your order today.